Good evening, everyone. We'll have to call to order a regular meeting of the Perry Municipal Authority. It is October 1st, 2018. Roll call, Dixie.
Kohler.
Here.
Gilbert. Here. Franklin.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Ahern.
Here.
Seabolt. Here. Morrell.
Here.
Stroller.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. I do declare a quorum. Reverend Ahern, would you say blessing?
Sure, absolutely. Heavenly Father, as we begin our council meeting tonight, I pray that our actions and our words would bring honor and glory to you. Help us to understand what it truly means to love our neighbor as you love us. Be present tonight, pour out your guidance and your blessings on all of us that are here tonight, as well as those that are listening online. We love and thank you for the gifts that you freely give us. Let us use them wisely. We thank you, and we pray this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
may I say something real quick?
Yes.
Today on the radio, I was listening, and it just reminded me. They were talking about invocations at council meetings. How so many people protest that now. And I just want to say that I am so proud that we still do that here in Perry, Oklahoma.
Amen.
I think about that every time we call for it. It's very important. Thank you. Item 1, consent agenda. One item. Item A, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. Dixie?
Kohler.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled concerning the authority this evening. Any comments? Seeing none, move on to item 5, proclamation, commendation reports, inquiries by the governing body. Staff, council, any comments or reports you'd like to give this evening? Seeing none, move on to item 6, new business. Item 7.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Richard.
Kohler.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. Now call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Perry. It is October 1st, 2018. Roll call, please.
Kohler.
Here.
Gilbert.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Ahern.
Here.
Seabolt. Here. Morrell.
Here.
Stroller.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. For item 1 is the consent agenda. There are 2 items on there. Do I have a motion? Or you wish to discuss any of those separately?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Dixie?
Kohler.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled. Anyone need to make comments concerning the agenda this evening? Seeing none, we move on to item 5, proclamation, commendation reports, and inquiries by the governing body. Dixie and Tyson have a
Do you want to do the other one first?
you don't do that. You said item 5.
I know, but there's 2 things on item 5. There's this one. Let's see. It's more important than mine.
Okay. Chief, would you come forward and make the presentation?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for giving us the opportunity tonight to come and talk to you guys. We have, for the first time in the history of the Perry Fire Department, we have had a graduate of the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Lieutenant Matt Biswell attended that training. And I'm actually going to have him come up and just kind of give you a brief synopsis of what his training was like there in Emmitsburg.
I'm Matt, for those of you who don't know me.
Matt.
Yeah, so I went last Saturday, I flew up there. Course started on Sunday, and then I flew back just the previous Saturday. And the course I took was plans review for fire and life safety. You know, there's the course isn't offered very often, especially not around here. It's basically the only place that I could find to take it. I enjoyed the course. I think it's beneficial for the fire department and for the city. You know, and I think just as important as the course curriculum, there were fire departments from all over the nation there, and we kind of talked, and you realize that you know, the fire code and the building code is the same everywhere, and our problems are just the same as someone else's problems, you know, all over the nation. So I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate the opportunity to go.
Very good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Matt. Lieutenant Matt Biswell, folks. Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Johnson, do you have something?
I do. I wanted to briefly tell you all, you heard a little bit about it about several months ago when OMPA was here and did the Value of Public Power report for the city of Perry. And they talked about that they were launching an initiative, a Value of Public Power initiative. And they had asked me to serve on that committee. I was honored to do so, and I appreciate the opportunity to do so. We've been working on it for a number of months. We've designed a whole process to try to get word out in front of the public about the value of public power. And it launched October 1st. There is a website, it's ourlocalpower.org. You will be seeing clips, things they've done that will be on our social media, we'll be sharing on Facebook, on our website, on PIN. It's designed to be a multi-year program. But as time goes on, those will be switching out. We're not gonna throw everything out there at once and then it's done. Currently, the very first clip they have out and the first social media things do not have any Perry things in them. I was a little disappointed about that, but I do know they've been in Perry filming. And I do know that we got some quotes from local Perry people that you will be seeing as, so I want everybody to pay attention and watch for those things. I'm really excited about it. I hope it's helpful. And this is not just for OMPA cities, it's for all public power communities in the state. And we hope everybody buys into it and uses it because we're all on the same page. And that's the whole point, is we want the public to realize what public power gives back as far as, the fire department, the police department, the streets, all the things that our public power supports. And it's important we get our information out and let the public know that that's the benefit of us owning our own electric. So the first thing up is that they produced just a 2-minute video, and I wanted to show it for you all tonight. So Tyson's going to do that for us, and whenever he's ready.
We're up early to make sure our town keeps turning on, and that the bold stream of power makes it across Oklahoma. We're here through it all, whenever you need us. We take pride in working for you, our family, our next door neighbors, our community. This is ours together. Our power utility is owned and operated by us, you and me. We are the holders of our utility system. When we pay our power bill, we reap the benefits, not an outside utility company. We are investors in our town. When we turn on the lights, it lights up today and brightens tomorrow. Giving back to our town, reinvesting in each other and our next generation. We have the power. Local public power is rooted deep in our community. It keeps us moving forward and brings us together. Local power brings power to our lives. It's our legacy. Local power. Power that gives back.
Tyson's got to rewire some stuff.
We gotta hang on. Okay, and that's the whole point, is power that gives back. That's what we're trying to drive home. And I would just like to say thanks to OMPA for starting this initiative, and thank you to you all for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you. Anyone else? We'll go to our city manager's remarks.
Thank you, Your Honor. Russell has some information regarding a grant.
Just real quick, I didn't know where to fit it in earlier, and Matt came up, and then I lost my train of thought. So, we do have a special tie in Oklahoma with the United States Fire Administration, the school where he attended in Emmitsburg. The retired fire chief Keith Bryant out of Oklahoma City, he's our United States Fire Administrator, and he is actually who manages everything with the United States Fire Administration. So anyway, it's kind of a neat tie with Oklahoma. Real quick, Sean Rogers with Rogers Consulting and EMS has written the ERSRF grant, which is the Oklahoma Emergency Response System Stabilization and Improvement Revolving Fund. So it's a long acronym. It's even longer to say, but he had written that proposal for us a couple of months ago, and I'm pleased to announce this evening that we were awarded a grant through that fund, totaling just around $38,000. With that funding, we'll purchase a cardiac monitor with defibrillation capabilities. It'll provide medical director training. It will provide instructor training for emergency services instructors for at least 6 of our individuals up here. And in addition to that, it'll also provide a regional assessment, which is part of what the legislation creates to basically assess the entire region to see what things can be done on the pre-hospital side to shore up EMS. So we're happy to announce that we have received that award, that it's been posted, so I just wanted to.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
OEPA, our electrical provider, has begun their biannual survey, their customer survey. They should be calling, they might be calling at random folks on the phone or else using your email address. It's very important to our participation in the competitive utility program known as CUP, that we get a number of responses. We have a quota basically that we have to, a level that we have to hit, or we have to continue to call or email. So it's important that folks know about it, first of all, and secondly, that they respond. Tuesday, October 9th, utility customers are invited to City Hall from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a customer appreciation open house. We'll have some refreshments and some prizes and the ever popular spin the wheel game. So you're invited, come, let's have some fun. Starting today, the Perry Carnegie Library has changed their hours a little bit. The closing stays the same, the Saturday hours stay the same, but they will be opening 1 hour later. They'll open at 10 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. BMAC manager Lee Harmon reports a very successful Sunday only tournament yesterday. He had 10 teams that showed and played into the night. And what's interesting about that is 4 were brand new teams that had never visited BMAC, had some really good things to say about it. They came from Cushing, they came from Cleveland, they came from Enid, and they came from Moore. And that's what we're really after, to show folks what this facility really looks like, how it really operates. And Lee's got that just really humming. So that's what we're after, and good luck to him, and we appreciate everything he does. He really does work hard, I'll tell you that. So, any questions or anything? All right, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Good job, man. Item 7, consider ordinance of the City Council of the City of Perry, Oklahoma, amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Perry Municipal Code 2018 supplement, by the addition of a new section 11-217 entitled Mausoleum Rules and Regulations, by the amendment of subsection 2, section 2, chapter 18 entitled Fee Schedule, providing for a fee for opening and closing mausoleum niches, increasing the fee for opening and closing cremation graves, and increasing the fee for services is performed on city legal holidays, providing for repealer, savings, codification, severability, penalty, effective date, and declaring an emergency. Any questions, comments?
What changed in the ordinance that we got tonight versus the one that was in the packet?
I can run through
Oh, that's
this.
it there.
There were some items which were duplicious said the same thing twice, like number 5 and number 20, and those got consolidated. Under item 6, that was actually made into 3 sections because it expressed 3 different thoughts. So each sentence is well, the first 2 sentences are their own sections, and then the last couple sentences are the final section. There's an issue presented in number 9. And so that's a difference, and then we actually need to perhaps answer that today. Or if we don't have an answer, continue this and see if we can come up with an answer, and that is, should there be a section for mausoleums? You know, I mean, just as an aesthetic thing, you know, I mean, you've got headstones here, we're gonna put mausoleums in this different area. Would we designate, if we're gonna allow them now, are we going to reserve them for one area so there will be some symmetry, some similarity between the areas? So that really 9 really requires a direction from the council. We changed out the word corporation to city, which was wrong. We changed the word designated, design to designated, which was the proper word. That's in number 11. We removed a rule that said no removal or disentombment should be permitted on days on which an entombment or interment is scheduled, because it was a silly rule. Why couldn't you do 2 things on one day? It was just kind of dumb. We added some words to floral memorials, since that really deals with fresh flowers rather than artificial flowers. Artificial flowers, you know, we're not really allowing except during a Memorial Day. And that's quite frankly something that they'd like to do year-round, correct?
Artificial flowers?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what that, it only has to do with mausoleums. And then we renumbered. Now, these were all brought to you by your own Councilman Jim Franklin, who I think did a final, did a really good final review of them, but there's still that issue left. And we didn't have an opportunity to shoot that issue back to Laura Lee and the staff. That might be something that would be appropriate to shoot that back and to kind of get an idea of where. So, I mean, I believe it's appropriate that we let this gel for a couple more weeks, come back with an answer there. There's no rush on this. There was just an interest. Somebody wants to do it, and we want to make sure that our rules are right.
Do we need to change corporation in 10 as well?
Yeah, I changed it. That should have been changed.
In 10?
Uh,
Last word in 10?
Yeah, that should be changed too. Yeah, let's,
We've asked Laura Lee all over.
thank you.
No problem.
All along this whole process, her thoughts. This is her area of responsibility, her area of expertise, and we've asked for her input. I will say that, Bryce, one of the things that she did mention was regarding the additional charge if performed on above listed city legal holidays that we also add, and Saturdays.
Okay,
And weekends?
Actually, in the way it's written in the current one, it's spelled out holidays and Saturdays, and then it calls them all legal holidays. So it kind of said that in the
Okay.
current one, but we can read
well, we'll check that.
To add that makes it plain.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Sound better.
This, on number 6, it says the front opening is 32 inches wide by 26 inches high. It spells out what size caskets you can put in them. What is the overall dimension of this building supposed to be? I mean, does it say anywhere that what size thing you can put up, or?
It provides for a site plan and approval of the site plan. So,
I mean, I know it says in here that
If somebody-
it's listed somewhere. Number 4, it says one body and a cremation and 2 cremations. I just wondered how big the overall dimension of the,
Each mausoleum for 2 niches will take up 3 grave sites. Wow. According to Laura Lee. So I don't know if we want to just make it specific to that particular size, or do you want to make it larger? Do you want to say, hey, you can't have,
I think there has to be some kind of,
You don't want to do it
Got it.
40 foot tall.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, there has to be some kind of guidelines to,
She
I mean,
brought me, they're still on my desk. a
You might
bunch of
stack
flyers
15
from
people on top of each other or
companies,
something.
and it has all the
Well, I mean, you're
dimensions on them.
limited to how many,
Yeah.
It goes over here.
Okay.
but not necessarily
But
to
I
the
guess we didn't want to
overall
build the top
height
hall.
or.
No, we don't want to build a ton.
yeah, what there is a requirement to submit a site plan and required that you cannot build it until it's approved.
Sure.
but does
That's how
the,
we did it.
does that committee have the guidelines to go by?
This is our guideline, so if we want to.
So there is no guidelines then?
Right.
This is our guidelines. If we want to set something, we need to set it here. So
Yeah.
perhaps that's something that we come back with too.
I make the
There's a
motion
lot
to
of-
table this until we can gain the further information that we directed.
If you don't mind, may I ask if there's any other thoughts, any other changes that perhaps y'all have?
One real quick thought, and I don't know quite how to say this, because I don't want to insult anybody. But do we have areas of the cemetery that's not going to be suitable for burial?
I can
Either
certainly
because of rock
find out.
outcroppings or whatever.
I'm pretty sure.
Then we need to
Oh, we got
identify
plenty of
those
those,
and
yeah.
consider those as sites for mausoleums. That's what was done with the Morrow Mausoleum.
Jackhammered a lot of those sites.
I will mention that the couple that's been in my office inquiring about it already own lots. And so, you can address it however you want, but I'm just telling you, they think they know where they're gonna put theirs. So if we change it, they'll have to be directed.
Well, number 9 is the main question, and I'm going to second Bill's agreement, because a lot of people, there's going to be a difference of opinion on if there's an area for the mausoleums or if it's with the family plots, and that's not something I'm ready to go into until we have something nailed down. So I second.
I mean, it may be a situation that, I don't know the policy on selling back lots if we buy lots back. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
We
Is it
do.
okay?
We can transfer, we can trade.
Yeah, we can give them their money back, move them somewhere else, or transfer or something.
Their spot is in a family group.
Oh, we did.
I'm just warning you ahead of time. Color.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Move on to item 8. Consider approval of change order number 1 to the wastewater treatment plant solid removal project, extending the time to completion of 116 days from May to September 7, 2018. Approval and acceptance of the project. Authorized payment of $168,944 to Denali Water Solutions LLC for the completion of the project. This change of plan does not increase the cost of the project, doesn't add money to it. All it's doing is extending the time due to weather and other delays such as permitting. Because it was a contract and had days, we have to extend those days to cover and pay them and finalize the project.
Move approval.
So it has been completed though?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Second.
Dixie?
Color.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. Let's move to item 9. Consider approval of professional services agreement, Monsoon Consultants, for engineering surveying services for the CDBG Master Sanitary Sewer Phase 3 project. It is necessary to approve the professional service agreement with Dr. Reilly's company to provide engineering and surveying services for Phase 3 sewer project. The budget for engineering surveying is $50,953.40.
Move to approve.
Any questions? Dick?
Calern.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. Item 10, consider approval of invoices from Monsoon Consultants. A, $2,730 for the wastewater treatment plant and the water treatment plant. That was backwards there, folks. Engineering services. B, $4,346 for work on Phase 4 Master Sanitary Sewer Project. Those were included in tab 10 for your review. Any questions?
Has that phase 4 been completed? I mean, talking engineering.
No,
I know we have it in the work, I was wondering if it was completed.
I don't,
No, design's not completed.
No.
On the lift station.
Was that a no?
It's not completed yet. We have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
Dr. Reilly has been asked to work on it
Roll call?
Calern.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Make sure you understand that did approve both items A and B. Item 11, consider approval of payment of an invoice in the amount of $2,043.45 to MKEC Engineering for engineering and construction support on the 2018-2019 street improvements of Grove, East Boundary, Jackson, 12th and Birch, and the pharmacy out. That is also included in the packet, tab 11. Do I have any questions?
I've about decided I want to be an engineer when I grow up.
I enjoyed it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixie.
Calern.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 12, consider approval of payment of an invoice in the amount of $10,383.48 to MKEC Engineering for engineering surveying service on the 2018-2019 street improvements, that being Jackson at 9th and 12th Streets, Park Drive, 8th Street utility coordination, Jackson and the 9th Street intersection design and construction of whatever that is, the SWPPV NOI. What does that stand for?
Stands for Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan.
There we go.
And the NOI's notice of intent.
I know what NOI is. I couldn't get that one out of my brain.
At least that's what the internet said about 6 o'clock this But it fits, let's go with
Stormwater,
it.
yeah, pollution prevention plan, that's good. They have a sheet in every set of plans with that on there now.
Motion to approve the invoice.
Second.
Got a second? Roll call, Dixie?
Calern.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Consider approval of payment of invoice in the amount of $6,542.50 to MKEC Engineering for professional services regarding Delaware and Fifth Street, rodeo grounds, pedestrian crossing, softball complex parking, Braxton property, and Seth Watley pavement.
Have I met, what's the rodeo,
It's looking at that pedestrian crossing there.
where at?
That low water crossing that goes from
Uh,
the rodeo
from the ball
arena over
fields.
to towards the softball field, where Mike Chambers is right now,
Yeah.
currently.
Comments? Questions?
Is this Braxton property, the piece of property you and I talked about on Fur?
Yes, sir.
Did they come up with some ideas for that?
We will bring that to you probably the next council meeting. I have one more piece of information I need to get, so I'm comfortable to bring that towards you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixon.
Caldern.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Yes.
Ahern. Seabold. Yes. Morrow.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 14, consider renewal of the OMAG Municipal Property Protection Plan and Municipal Liability Protection Plan effective November 1, 2018 through October 31, 2019. Matches the federal fiscal year. That
Motion to-
renewal, you see the amounts for the renewal, those to be divided up and paid quarterly, or?
This one, the board was in.
All right,
So it's quarterly on that amount.
that's what
I mean, it's divided by 4.
That's our total amount.
This is our total, and we will pay that total
Okay.
on a quarterly basis.
Okay, thank you.
And you like me, that's high insurance.
Well, I thought forever, yeah.
Have
Motion
a
to
motion.
approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Caldern.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabold. Yes. Morrow.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 50, consider approval of executive function building replacement costs. All right, let me start off. Consider approval of execution of the functional building replacement cost form for property casualty insurance purposes on the Wheat Heart Nutrition Building at 612 Flynn Street.
What brought this about?
Insurance, what?
We also did this last year. I think we've done it the last maybe 3 years. It's something they started requiring. They have people come and look at our buildings and preview them, and just the condition of that building was why they list this one out separately and require this to be passed by council.
So that they can see the replacement value as now?
Right.
Okay.
So they can actually replace it with a lesser structure.
Right,
They could put up a metal building or.
yeah,
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
thank you. Roll call, Dixon.
Caldern.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabold. Yes. Morrow.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 16, consider approval of ordinance number 2018-23, amending Chapter 9 of Perry Municipal Code 2018 supplement by renaming Article 2 to solicitors, canvassers, and mobile food vendors by the addition of new subsection F to the section 9-201 entitled Definitions, providing for the execution to the regulation for mobile food vendors by the addition of new section 9-214 entitled Food Vendor License, providing for definitions, license required, application, fee, geographical and other restrictions, savings, severability, repealer, codification, penalty, and declaring an emergency. Wow.
I had a question. Let's find out where it was again.
Section, tab 16.
Yeah, in that, I'm trying to find the,
Last time we make any
see,
changes.
page 4, the very top one,
What'd you say, Derek?
page 4.
That he had.
Is that right? I think the very top one was it. What is the purpose of that? Just to keep it away from the parks, or?
If, that's for safety reasons and to make sure that the event is being held in a certain area in a location, and they cannot sell within that distance without permission from the city. That is, if we give a location such as down here during the celebration, or we decide to establish an area for food vendors, and we'd want them there and not somewhere else. Just all helter-skelter all over town.
The changes that were made were really minor, correcting spelling of a few words, making a sentence make more sense, but no intent at all. It changed, no intent on any section.
The number 2 was the other question, in that same section, C, for the public schools, because that would kind of limit people from, even if they get this, possibly from doing a food truck like at the old gas station at 10th and Fur there.
Where are you seeing this one at, Derek?
It's section, same section C, it's on page 3 instead of
Oh, okay.
4, it's number 2. 150 feet from the edge of the property would be probably almost a block, wouldn't it?
Half a block.
Half a block?
But that does put the authority back on the school. to-
And I agree, I just didn't know if we talked to them about that, or if this is just,
Wouldn't that rule out the stand that currently sits there in the
Yeah.
summer?
So they have to move?
yeah.
I think they're within, over the distance.
Not from that
Not
corner.
the Chili Willy stand thing.
The what?
Chili Willy.
The snow cone?
The snow
The
cone.
snow
stand.
cone would be affected by
Where the
that.
coffee shop is
By the
now?
ice machine there? That would be within this zone here.
Yes, it would.
And
It's right across the street.
so that kind of concerned me a little bit. I mean, thinking about kids, I don't want them to have to walk a block or 2 blocks to get to it if it could just be right there across the street.
Well, that also affects the sandwich shop.
With their approval, I
Yeah, with the
understand.
school's approval.
Right. I just didn't know if we even talked to the school about it or anything else.
We have not, but we met with Dr. McCarty in the morning, we'll be able
Don't think,
to discuss that
they're not
with him
mobile.
then.
They're not mobile. The kids are mobile when they
I
go
don't
there.
like hurting small business either. I don't really like hurting small business either.
Go anywhere.
That's a kind of, in our situation, that's kind of anti-business. I think we need to look at that item.
I agree.
Okay.
And both those items, actually.
So do we need to table this one also?
Well, I don't think we need to have a distance in there. We can say, as authorized by the city on item 5.
And that too.
And
There might be a time when someone wants a private party and they want to have a food truck, a food vendor come instead of them,
Yeah.
build, cooking or anything, just have a food truck there. So.
Yeah.
There are school events that do set up there and, I guess it's Super Bowl, they'll do food during that. And, there's a lot of school events that could be affected by it.
Okay,
I think we relook at it.
that's certainly not our intent, no.
When you think about it, all at Fur is commercial.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you could set up on any of those houses on either side, under C1, except we're accepted, unless you change the exception.
And C2 changes that.
Yeah, you need to think about if
C4
that's,
too.
you need to think about if that's what you intend.
I'm not about to hurt small business, so.
But, currently to set up a commercial use, at least the permanent one, there's a site plan, there's neighbor issues, there's issues. We're really talking about there on Fur, which is really kind of where it would happen. You're authorized to, you'd be able to, all those folks would be able to put a trailer on their property and sell there. Now, we've kind of done that. We had that barbecue place that was right there, and of course we got the snow cone place, and we've kind of done this. This is going to allow it in a broader sweep, but it's all going to be mobile. It's all mobile food trucks. So, as we think about this, we need to, think about what that effect is going to be.
Can we limit that by the permitting we're allowing? When the vendor comes to get a permit,
One of the things that we wanted I thought with our action a few weeks ago was to kind of drive those food trucks down to this place that we're going to have food truck alley, where there's going to be adequate parking, where there's going to be adequate stuff. for people to pull in. I mean, those kind of traffic movements on Fur to reach that are just gonna be a little hairy. I just think that, I mean, now that you bring that up, I think about that, and I think that perhaps we need to give more due consideration to location, that section C, and really if we're gonna drive it to our location, then let's kind of drive it there, unless in the street or some other place. We need to make sure that the place where they're set up, that there be adequate parking, adequate turn-in, adequate place. So, I can tell you that I wrote it, and it was really a first draft, we had talked about it. But and we hadn't finished up our discussion on, we just released that property from the hospital. I really didn't get yet what the idea was there. I haven't discussed that with anybody, what we really intend to do there. And perhaps those two items should be somewhat discussed together.
Well, each one of these items, as far as location is concerned, is unless authorized by blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't restrict anybody to 150 feet as long as they can get the authorization from the entity that they're gonna set up with. So I don't see a problem with these particular statements.
Well, I have a problem with number 2 on authorized in writing by the school. This is our ordinance, it's not the school's ordinance, so I don't think that we need the writing from the school, it needs to come from us.
Okay.
We're controlling the ordinance.
And I don't think Sonic should authorize if we do a food vending area. I mean, again, it's our ordinance.
And we can't hurt business.
Okay. Point well taken.
I don't want to, Mr. Passo's, done quite a bit of work to that lot out there where the barbecue place was, and now he's got some other people that's come in there and rent some spots. I mean, I don't want to eliminate that from him because he's done a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
We permitted that, so we need to be able to figure out how to make it all work.
Do we want to send this to planning?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, I'll vote no, I don't like it anyways.
You just like
Whatever
it.
you want.
If we do some of those plans, it goes into something taking place meanwhile.
No, I mean, we can approve that they're just gonna have to pay the higher fee, this counts the fee, okay, and that's one of the reasons for it. But we need to come up with something that is comprehensive when you're gonna discount that fee. And my thought is that, we've got this plan for this food truck area, and we've got a planning commission, to think about planning, and I would love David Payne, and Jim and the members to take a look at this and a hard look at zoning there, where we really want to allow these before we bring it back, because I think
We don't want to build a food court truck area
and then let it
and everybody else just put their stuff everywhere they want to
Oh,
put it.
absolutely, right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, it does need to be encouraging to draw people here, but in a safe way.
Right.
In all instances. The thing I want to make sure, like the snow cone place is already established, they're
Exactly.
already doing what they're doing, and it's been successful for them.
Yep.
And
We're
I
not
don't want to
gonna
force
adverse-
them to have to move or anything else, if we can.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Any further comments?
Yeah, one quick question. Where we're saying authorized by the city. Exactly who in the city and how is that authorization going to take place?
Very true, good point.
Well, it'd be part of the permitting, part of a license procedure. I mean, there'd be the bottom of the license, we'd either sign off, and it would be administrative. It'd be administrative, would be administrative.
You can't do it, Earl.
I mean, what you would be looking at are things like adequate area, safety, and that's why, we need to when we're thinking about location, if you're allowed, you really need to talk about the site. size, access, traffic, you know, I mean.
Sewage, garbage, on and on.
Yeah, electric lines out to it, connections, you know, that kind of thing, if you're gonna do it, so.
The biggest issue I had when the barbecue truck was on a vacant lot was the access in and out. You know, you get tail end going in, you get clip coming out if you didn't watch it. So I drove all the way through and used the alley. Some people didn't, some people turn around and come back out first.
I suppose it's how you look at this. Are we looking at the food, the mobile food vendor as a you know, limited time with a limited event? Or are we allowing portable restaurants to be set up and bypassing, you know, most of our zoning code and our building code? So I suppose in the streets are good, at events are good, on adequate sized property is good. And then, but we also need to look if we're gonna try to drive them to our food court. If we do that, we're gonna have to spend considerable money on electric,
Utilities.
on the electric grid system, on the systems that we put there, and we ought to, you know, try to make it worthwhile.
A lot of these are self-contained though.
Yeah.
Don't need power.
You're
I
right.
mean, that's a consideration as well.
The noise level of some of the generators that we've seen on some of the food trucks, you can't even hardly order because of the noise, let alone
Again,
the
it's a
passersby
consideration.
and neighbors, et cetera, et cetera.
It's a consideration.
I had a discussion this last week with a former council person, and they're like, why are we having food trucks set up on Fur when we make restaurants go through? Because it's temporary food trucks. Are they really? And it makes you think, are they? I mean, what's temporary mean? Like once every 6 weeks, they have to pull it off the lot, come back tomorrow, or what?
Well, in this one, we're giving them up to a year.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You wonder what is
Where
temporary.
is the definition?
It's all items we need to address.
We got a motion and a second?
Mm-hmm.
Kolar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Sebel. Yes. Wall.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Now, are we gonna send this to planning commission? Was that answered?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
He plans.
Jim just, he doesn't have enough to do. He's got to do that.
Let's move to item 17. Consider convening an executive session for the purpose of conferring on a matter pertaining to an economic development of the city of Perry concerning an amendment to the lease agreement with option to purchase by Blue Badger Investments of Perry LLC, a limited liability company, which transaction will secure short-term employment, wages, payroll for residents of the city of Perry, and public disclosure will interfere with the development and implementation of the amendment pursuant to 307C10.
Motion to convene an executive session.
Second.
Roll call. please.
Get there. Kolar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Sebel. Yes. Wall.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes. You ready, Tyson?
It's fun.
I think with the pictures on it, or?
All right, good.
So much fun.
Reconvene in regular session.
Motion to reconvene.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixie.
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks. Yes. Aaron.
Yes.
Sebo. Yes. Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
I don't, I apologize.
Item 19, take any action deemed necessary to present to the executive session, including but not limited to the approval of the amended lease agreement and option to purchase the Blue Badger Investments for the LLC on the liability company.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
You had no new business?
No, thank you.
We have a motion to adjourn. Any discussion or roll call?
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Sebo. Yes. Morrell.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.